Sweet flowers grow in an English country garden. I'll tell you now of some that I know, and those I miss you'll surely pardon.
Welcome to Big Chris and Little Chris's garden shed. And we're here today with ISS Education to show you how to build an edible hanging basket. And that's a basket that's going to teach you all about gardening in miniature, but also teach you about healthy eating and growing plants and healthy cooking. So watch out and see what happens, and I want to see later in the summer with this project, your hanging baskets, your photos to see how you get on. Cheers. Morning, Little Chris.
Morning. What are you up to today, Big Chris?
Well, today, Little Chris, we're going to be making an edible hanging basket.
A what?
An edible hanging basket. That's a basket that's going to have plants in it that you can eat, that can use in cooking, and it's also going to be hung from the air outside.
So, like a garden in the air?
That's a perfect description, Little Chris. Perfect. Now, I need a few things for this. First of all, I need my special basket for planting. I need some moss to line my basket. I need some compost. Some nice dark loam-based compost. There you go. And I've also a little bit of food so I can feed the basket as well. And finally, of course, I need my plants like this lovely parsley. What do you think, Chris?
Can you use other types of plants?
You can indeed. I know it's a bit early in the year at the moment, but later in the year when the frosts are gone, we can use tumbler tomato, we can use things like fennel. So later on there'll be more choice, and you can have more choice to do with your cooking as well.
So this is like a living recipe then?
A living recipe is a brilliant description, Little Chris. The first thing I need to do is I need to line my basket. This is a bit like making a cake. I'm building it in layers. And then of course I need my compost. So I'm going to put that in there.
What other types of compost are there? And why don't you use those?
Well, there are lots of types. There are recycled peat composts, but I like loam because it hangs on to its nutrient. It's also good at staying moist, and that's important because we've only got a small garden area. And of course, then it's time to put my first layer of plants in. Now, I've got this lovely thyme here. Do you like that? Little Chris, I smell that. Absolutely gorgeous. Have a little smell of that. Before I plant it, Little Chris, there's a little job I've got to do. We're going to check for the DDD, make sure there's no dead disease or dying material on the plant, because that might encourage pest and disease. So that one I'm going to gently tease through the side of the basket.
Gently does it?
Maybe I put a strawberry in next. Imagine a strawberry, that's a really nice plant. So again, I'm going to just take my strawberry and gently tease through the leaves. Well, I'm also going to put, Little Chris, a little bit of colour in. So this little primula, it's lovely purple flowers, that can go in the basket. And you can do that in the summer as well with geraniums or petunias to add a little bit of colour to your hanging basket. I think I'll put one more, squeeze my pot. This one will go at the back. This is a great plant for forming like a big hummock to fill up the basket. So in goes that. So now we're going to go on to build the second layer of our cake, our edible hanging basket. Get my moss. Okay, now I'm up near enough to my second layer. Once again, I'm going to put my compost in. But now, the very, very important part of the job is going to happen here, Little Chris. Just make sure it's all firmed into place. I need to use the tips of my fingers, the tips, not the thumbs, because it won't be even, the tips of my fingers. So I'm going to go in and around the plant roots like this.
That's capillary action. It helps the plant drink.
Perfect, that's right. You know your science, Little Chris. And of course, my plants, they need to eat. You can see there's these little granule balls there like this, and they'll break down over the summer and they'll release nitrogen, which will help feed the leaves. They'll release potassium, which gives flowers and fruit. And they'll release phosphorus, which will help feed the roots. So this is an all-round dinner, if you like, for my plants. Gradually, over time, that'll break down and make sure the plants don't go hungry. So let's go up to my second layer. Push that into place like this. At least loosen those roots up. That's perfect. And a little primrose like this, that can go in. I'm going to slot it in between that other primrose and the strawberry. I'm just going to pop that through like so. Perfect, okay. Then I think, what about some mint? So this will fill out the back of my container. You can see I'm coming right up to the top of the basket now. A bit more soil in the centre. Again, remember, the ends of my fingers, pushing all that compost into place. Yep, and also now I'm going to put some more fertiliser, chocolate for plants. And in the centre, let's have a nice upright plant like this lovely purple sage. In the gardening profession, we call this a dot plant.
The centrepiece, the crown of the garden.
I'm going to pop that right in here. That will get nice and big in the summer. Again, firm it all down. Maybe I can fit another one in there. Maybe this lovely parsley will go in there as well. There you go. If you see any gaps or anything, little Chris, just plug them with a bit of moss. They're looking good. Garden in the air.
Looks lovely.
There you go, little Chris. That's the finished item. Perfect. Let's go and hang it.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, little Chris. Here's my hanging basket. I'm going to hang it somewhere nice and sunny because the sun will get my plants some food, help them create some energy.
The sun helps the plant make its food. The sunlight will give the plant energy.
And of course, you need to water your plants. I want you to pop out every day. Just get your fingers, put them into the basket, and make sure there's moisture there, little Chris. Make sure it's got a drink.
So look after it like a pet.
That's right, you wouldn't forget to feed your cat. So don't forget to water your basket. Another little job I'm going to do, little Chris, is I've got some liquid feed here. And that's liquid feed put in water, diluted, and then once a month, I'm just going to give the basket a spray like this, and this will make sure my plants get nice and strong and fill the whole basket out.
I don't think our garden in the air is going to go hungry.
I don't think it will, no. And also remember the DDD rule.
Remove any dead, diseased or dying parts of the plant. A clean plant is a healthy plant.
Perfect, little Chris. And then I think the final tip is let's just pinch out the tops of our plants from time to time when we come out and water it. There you go, and they can go straight into your cooking. And we've got our edible hanging basket working. Pretty good, eh, little Chris?
Brilliant!
Well, that's it. Big Chris and Little Chris have showed you how to make your edible hanging basket. So when you go away now, make your own. Start about March, go through the summer. I want to see all those lovely photos of that hanging basket.